Hello, everybody. Welcome to tonight's JMQs. Drew isn't here. Drew is having a night of fun. So I'm going solo tonight. So I thought I'll keep it nice and short tonight so you don't have to put up with me droning on for an hour and a half. So I thought I'd do a quick workbench update, do some Q&As, and then leave you all to enjoy your Sunday evening, seeing as the weather is rather lovely at the moment, or at least in the UK it is anyway. So I'm just going to say a big hello to everybody who's tuned in at the moment. So I'm going to say hello to Alan Richardson, Russell Taylor, Wayne Beattie, Rob Monfee, Simon James Colley, Sean Smith, Lee Souter, Dave Swindle, Jim Altergott, Kenny Benton, Mark Ryan, Peter Oxley, Jerry Doyle, John Connolly, Mike and Penn Richardson, Kev Tinker, Andy Preston, Darren McQuillam, AIM 9 Guy Models, who's in Mobile, Alabama, apparently. Paul Milligan, Stephen Pryor, Shane Weir, good day, Shane. Crazy Loca, who says it's a nice 90-degree Florida day. It's not been far off that here in Somerset today, actually. Scrolls down. Nick Brown, hello everybody, he says. Hello everyone, he says. Theron Hampton, Christopher John Buchholtz, Paul Adams, Glenn Broman, Dougal McWoogle, Dave Coward, Andy King, Tony Surridge, who says, hi there. Hi there, Tony. So there we go. We've got a good crowd tonight. And as I said, I'm going to keep it mercifully short so you can all enjoy your lovely weather wherever you are in the world. Unless wherever you are in the world is raining, in which case I'm very sorry about that. And so that's well, before I start tonight, I thought I would give a shout out to Mr. Jamie Hago, who he recently built the Airfix Vintage Classic Beaver and finished it as a South Vietnamese aircraft. Absolutely stunning. It just goes to show what can be done with one of these vintage classic kits. Yeah, Jamie rescribed everything, and I think he did some rivet details on them. But apart from that, that is absolutely stunning work by Jamie. And as I said, it just goes to show what can be done with a vintage classic kit if you've got the imagination to kind of run with it, really. So absolutely beautiful. I mean, it's a very nice kit anyway, but what Jamie has done there is just brilliant. So there we go. Hopefully that will serve as inspiration for some of you who perhaps skirt around building these vintage classic kits, because they can be made to look top dollar. So there we go. Jamie's beautiful Airfix Vintage Classic Beaver. Now, something a little bit more up to date is the Airfix 135th scale Austin K2 ambulance, the KT. And this, well, obviously I started this before my medical adventures this year. So I finally got round to finishing the the interior, the stretcher part, the interior and everything. All that work that I did painting the stretchers can't be seen, so I'm not going to worry about it. So we've got the roof on. I might do a little bit more work on it this evening on the show. I'll have a look and see what I can do, but it's slowly coming together. Honestly, this is just me being very tardy when it comes to building models. Also, you know, got to be said, having a month's holiday courtesy of Southmead Hospital. But we will be wrapping this up because I do want to finish this off for Telford, of which more anon. And what a fun kit. I absolutely am enjoying this. I'm not just saying that because obviously I work for the home team. It is an absolutely brilliant kit. So where are we up to that doesn't involve painting at the moment? Because I don't want to start loading up the airbrush tonight. And do you know what? I get the funny feeling that I am going to have to load the airbrush up in order to move on to the next level. So perhaps I'll do that tomorrow night. Yep. Although I have just noticed that, whoops, that the door can be used rather conveniently as a mask. He said, wedging it in there. So, yeah, we're not going to do any painting tonight. There we go. Look, that door just drops in there. So that's absolutely brilliant. I was wondering how I was going to get round to painting and masking the ambulance, you know, the medical section. But there we go. That's answered my question. So, like I said, we're not going to do any painting tonight. Sorry about that, folks. I'm just not in the mood. And also, I want to try and keep this to a nice short 30 minutes, if that's all right with you. But other than that, it has been an absolutely joyous build, albeit broken in half by a trip to the NHS. But anyway, so we will get round to finishing that off because it's absolutely great fun, really. And I don't build as many 35th scale vehicles as I should. So to be doing something like this is just absolutely brilliant. So anyway, Jim Ortegot says, question, will you paint the ambulance in North Africa, get me teeth in, North Africa colours? To be honest with you, Jim, if I will be doing it in North Africa colours, but I won't be doing it in the Cornter scheme. I'll be doing it as a bog standard overall yellow one, Portland stone. But no, that's what I'm going to go with. I want to get on with other things, and I don't want to spend a month kind of like masking and painting. And you know, I love the Cornter scheme. It looks absolutely brilliant, but I'm conscious of the fact that I need to get a wiggle on, get this finished. So I will be doing it as the British Army Alexandria Egypt 1942 version. So that's where we are with that at the moment. So like I say, we've got the roof on, so things should move on a bit more now. Got a question from John Connolly who says, "Hello guys, can we discuss? Hello guys, can we discuss gloss coat before decals as certain American modelers disprove it? Can we discuss it?" You can discuss it because I'm not going to disavow you of that I'm going to say fact, because it all comes down to surface, and gloss surfaces have less less ability to form air bubbles. Obviously you can have gloss finishes that are rough, but really smooth gloss finishes, you are not going to have air getting trapped between the surface and the varnish, which causes silvering. So me and my circle of modeling buddies, we all gloss coat, and we all gloss coat using Mr. Colour or Tamiya clear gloss, and we also use Mr. Colour leveling thinner or the Tamiya lacquer thinner. But yeah, I'm a fan of it, and it works. And in all the years that I've been doing it, I've never had a decal silver on me. So make of that what you will. It has become a bit of a how can I word this? It's almost become a bit of a culture war kind of issue, but it works. So what can I say? Andy King says, I gloss coat for decals and washes. Yes, when you do it for washes, it will pull it can pull the paint in just to make everything a bit sharper. So obviously on a matte finish, if you're doing a wash, there is a tendency for the wash to start creeping out because it's a matte surface, which means that you've then got to spend time with brushes and thinners trying to clean up the wash if you want it nice and tight. But if you're doing it over a gloss surface, you don't need to do that, because everything just pulls in together. And in fact, I do believe Roy Sutherland has a trick for doing washes, and I'm trying to remember what the process is that he does, but he mixes Tamiya paint with future, what we call clear, or future floor polish, but he mixes up a wash using that, and everything just sucks into the detail. It's quite remarkable. So yep, so I'm just having a look at Nick Brown says, I've just finished polishing the surfaces of my AMK Kefir and forgot to gloss. The decals went on nicely, but the transfer sheet, obviously, however, the transfer sheet was obvious, however, I just sprayed a gloss coat and they disappeared. Yep, I do find that sealing everything in with a gloss coat and then putting a matte coat over the top, or your final finishing coat, I always find that is foolproof. But look, it's very simple. If people want to not gloss their models, then fine. I've got to say, almost every single example I've seen out there of somebody who follows that process, they've always ended up with decals that's silver. So make of that what you will. Yeah, Jim Altergott says, here we go. Sorry, Jim Altergott says, my personal credo, to each their own. Christopher Buchholz says, Roy's Future Wash, 50-50 future and water with a trace of acrylic. It's a brilliant technique and it works. So, yeah, so there we go. I'll just talk a bit more about some other bits and pieces of the Austin, if you'll bear with me a second. I have been messing around with washes, and this is done with oils. Now, you're probably looking at this and thinking, well, that's a particularly filthy and unhygienic ambulance. And I think you're probably right. But I'm afraid this is modeler kicking in here. So, yeah, this was done with AK's oil brush or washes, and just a little bit put in there and then washed out with some bog standard thinner, really. I'm just trying to think what I've been using. It's actually White Spirit from Poundland, would you believe? It does the trick. So that's that's the interior of the doors. Like I say, they're probably a bit over the top, but well. My model, my rules. And I'm a big fan of the AK oil brushes. And I've got to say, my favorite one is Starship Filth, because it is a brilliant universal color that pretty much works on anything that you are, any color that you are trying to weather. So I'm honestly, I've bought quite a few of these oil brushes down the years, but Starship Filth is just my favorite. It is absolutely brilliant. And if you haven't tried it, give it a go. It's fantastic stuff. I tend to put it on with a small paintbrush, because the paintbrush that you get in the set. Sorry about my nails, folks, by the way. I have been doing gardening this afternoon. So, yeah, the brush that you get in the kit is not brilliant. But I find that if you decant some of it out onto a palette and then you can kind of go that way, I'll just use one of my cheapo brushes I've got here, which if I just go and reach for them, I think this is a set that I bought for, it was about 10 or 11 pounds. And these are absolutely first class for weathering. So I think they're synthetic, but yeah, very good. I'll put a link up to where I found them. It was somewhere on Amazon, but yeah, very good. I'm just having a quick look. Jerry Doyle says, my 10-year-old son Jack says he hasn't said scrolls down, scrolls down, scrolls down yet. Just saying, make a little boy happy. I think I've done one today. I think I've done my scrolls down, scrolls down, scrolls down. I'm going to get some t-shirts made with that on it, I think. Lox9 says VMS varnishes are good for hiding the raised decal. Do you know what? It suddenly goes a bit Michael Caine. There we go. I've got the matte and the satin, although I find the satin to be matte enough-ish, but I'm a big fan of the VMS varnishes. They are absolutely fabulous. And I don't thin them. I just put them straight into the airbrush, perhaps crank the pressure up a bit more, which is why I think it's an investment to get an airbrush where you've got a pressure regulator on it. And yep, it just goes. My compressor is beautiful, and I bought it, blimey, when did I buy it? 2011, I seem to remember. So that was 12 years ago. Sparmax, I can probably tell you what the model is at another time, but it is absolutely rock solid. About the only thing I have to do every now and then is just drain the tank. There's a little drain at the bottom, and it's just drain the tank. But other than that, it's a stellar piece of kit, and I absolutely adore it. Theron says, where can you get VMS varnishes here in the States? Throw that open to the group. If you can tell Theron where you can get them from, that would be brilliant. And Davros Halfbeard, I don't think that's his real name, says, built quite a few of the old Airfix 132nd scale AFV kits. Were actually pretty good for the time and good fun to build and weather. Yep, I've built the Crusader, and I do want to build the Rommel's half track at some stage. I've also built Monty's Humber as well. I'll try and dig out some pics of that. When I say dig out pics, I mean actual physical 35mm prints, because this is going back 30 years ago. But there they were good fun. And RT Mod says JM's Airfix Beach Buggy and Jamie Hago's Airfix Beaver seem to disprove old Airfix kits were rubbish. When I was a kid, I only built Airfix in the mid-1970s and do not remember any bad kits. No, I think I certainly think that Beach Buggy is absolutely brilliant. As one of the best, most funnest models I've built in years. And when I say years, I mean decades. So, right, here we go. Jim Altergott has answered your question, Theron. He says, Michigan Toy Soldier, US distributor for VMS products. So hopefully, give Jim a message and I'm sure he can hook you up with them. Oh, actually, no, no, hang about. Here we go. This is the clever bit of technology these days. Present, share screen. There we go. There we go. We're on the Michigan Toy Soldier website and browse by manufacturer. Let's scroll down to V for VMS. There we go. VMS, Vantage Modeling Solutions. And there we go, Theron. So the website is, let me just ping it up on the screen here. Let me just go to banners. There we go. So if you want to order from them, it is www.mishtoy.com. So they do the whole range there. So absolutely fabulous. So hopefully, Theron, that will answer your there we go. We've got a thank you. Brilliant. Excellent. Well, I'm glad we're helping people tonight. There we go. Get rid of that. Don't need that anymore. I'm just having a quick look at some of the comments. Dougal McWoogle says, if you watch Night Shift, he gives the US viewers a discount for VMS products. That's where both Drew and I discovered VMS, was watching Martin Kovac's videos. I think we were sat in my living room. We both looked at each other and just like, well, obviously we've got to try them. So, and Glenn Broman says, Michigan Toy Soldier is just 15 minutes from my office. I pick up my VMS there. Brilliant. I mean, I'm just trying to think what model shops have I got local to me? Obviously, I've got 20 minutes away. I've got Antics in Bristol, where I can get Gunzi Sanyo and other bits and pieces. A little bit further out are the guys and gals of the Frew Model Centre, but that's worth it just for the drive out there. And I'm looking forward to going out there at some stage once medically they give me my driving license back. Because one of the things, I don't know if I explained this to you folks, was one of the things was, having had brain surgeries, plural, I had to surrender my driving license. So everywhere I'm going at the moment is either walking or on the bus. And I must admit, I do enjoy going on the buses. Not the television series, that's horrible, but yeah, I quite enjoy it, actually. And RT Mod says, I'll be returning to Airfix vintage range. I'm pleased Airfix are doing this, as I miss many of these kits. I believe my sole source, try saying that. I believe my sole source was Woolworths in England. Well, likewise, my sole source used to be Woolworths in Wokingham in Berkshire, and when we moved briefly to Finch Hampstead, and then when we moved to Somerset 47 years ago, it would have been Ben Simpers down the high street. So yeah, it's and then it would have been Beatties in Bristol. So Shane says, got mine back last week after 9 months, liberating. I must admit, it has fired into me because I have this thing about building Schwimmwagons and Kugelwagens in 35th scale, and having the Airfix beach buggy, which is part of that Volkswagen Beetle story. It's nice that it kind of follows on. I know the scale is wrong. It's 32nd as opposed to 35th, but I just like the fact that it kind of continues an aspect of the story. And I'm also aware that Revell have done a 32nd scale beach buggy as well. So it might be that I add another one to the collection at some stage. So anyway, folks, enough of me wittering on here. I was going to keep this to a strict half an hour soloing, and yep, I'm going to keep it to a strict half an hour. But this is where I will be going over slightly. Fingers crossed, and obviously with everything that's happened to me this year, making plans is always a fool's errand. But I had a discussion with Mr. Farmer of the hobby company, and he has asked me what my plans are for Telford. My plans were completely up in the air, so he has invited me to do a weekend of modeling demos on the hobby company stand. So I have said yes, please. So with a little bit of luck, I will be traveling up with him on the Friday and then coming back with him on the Sunday. I was very conscious of the fact that I didn't want to put Drew's nose out of joint. But then, having discussed it with Drew, he isn't keen to go anyway. He feels that the show, I'm not putting words into his mouth here, but he's just not keen to go. So fine, it kind of works out a bit there. I'll miss not having him at the show, and I'll miss not doing the drive up. But then we haven't done it. Blimey, we haven't done it for 4 years now. Yeah, November 2019 was the last time we travelled up, and we did the old rock to Telford. So, yeah, that's a scary thought, isn't it? So yeah, so like I say, fingers crossed. Hopefully, I will be there doing modelling demos with the hobby company, and yeah, looking forward to it now. So. So hopefully see some of you there as well. So, right, we have reached the half-hour mark. So I am going to let you all go and enjoy your Sunday evening, or for some of you, Monday mornings, wherever you are in the world. Hopefully, we'll all be back next Sunday. If not, I'll just do another solo. So. Doesn't bother me. I get to hold the limelight. So there we go. Andy King says 2018 was the last time I was at Scale Model World Telford. Yeah, I went last year and I got the train up, which was good fun. And but I only did the one night, which was the Saturday night. But we'll wait and see. We'll see. Like I say, I'm very reluctant to make plans these days, given everything that happened to me back in the summer. Anyway, and talking of the summer, it's over. We're into the autumn now. Brilliant. Absolutely love it. It's absolutely. I love the autumn. It's my favorite season. So there we go. I'm just having a quick look at some of the comments. Bum, 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 bum. No, that's good. Excellent stuff. Well, thank you everybody for joining me tonight. I'm sorry it wasn't a full show, but hopefully I will be doing some updates to the Austin ambulance during the week. So fingers crossed we'll have some progress, simply because I want to crack on with some other models. So until the next time, and I might do a pop-up live, who knows? But until the next time, everybody out there, thank you for watching. Stay safe, stay out of trouble, and we'll see you very, very soon. So thanks for watching. Take care.